Man United is taking on Bournemouth, a team that is really collecting points for fun in the Premier League. As we speak right now, they are placed 8th and they're really having 25 points. And Man United is placed 12th. We are having 22 points, meaning that if we beat them, we overtake them. And we are level, and I think we'll be having a better goal difference that will put us in a better position to obviously come up and obviously do it. But this team has beaten Arsenal, it has beaten Man City, it has beaten Tottenham Hotspur, and you know how they play. You know how they play, and they are coming at the stadium of Old Trafford. Man United comes into this game of football in the Premier League after beating City by 2-1 away from home, and Bournemouth drew 1-1 with West Ham. Bournemouth never had any engagement in the middle of the week, and United really had a very big engagement against Tottenham Hotspur, where we even went ahead to obviously lose a player known as Mason Mount. So welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. And let's continue to obviously subscribe to this channel because we want to hit the magic number of 20,000 subscribers. We're here to break down this beautiful game of football, and I tell you what, why is this game very important? This game is very important because today Man City has been beaten by Aston Villa and they are stuck on 27 points, meaning that if we win this game of football, we'll be 2 points behind Man City, and that means we'll be closing in to competing for the top 4 position. And I've already told you that beating Man City last weekend and not obviously getting the required points against Spurs didn't make sense for me, and that's no work done. And beating City and not beating Bournemouth tomorrow won't make sense. I know it's really going to be a highly heated game. It's not going to be an easy game at Old Trafford, but all I can tell you is that I trust Ruben Amorim. I trust my manager that will come up with the best solutions possible to see to it that we really win this beautiful game of football. Now, Man United doesn't have Mason Mount. We don't have Luke Shaw. I think those are the only 2 players that are really out of contention to start. And the other player, known as Marcus Rashford, I don't know what's up with the manager, and I think the manager is going to be having what we call another recorded interview that is going to be doing with United TV, and he will tell us the shape in which Marcus Rashford is, whether he's good to go or not good to go. But Alejandro Garnacho is back, and you saw to it that he played some minutes when United was playing against Tottenham Hotspur. He came off the bench. That is the lad known as Garnacho. So the rest of the players are variable. That is it. So for Bournemouth, as we read through Sports Small, they've come and told us the following about the players that are really going to be absent into their squad. They're telling us that Luis Sinistera is having a thigh injury, Alex Scott is having an injury, Julian Aloho is having a thigh injury, Marcos Senesi is having a thigh injury, and Marcus Tavernier is having a thigh injury, but that doesn't make them to look an easy team. They're really a hard team. They run. And by the way, one of the things that we have to put in control, if you really get something out of this game of football, we should be running, We should run a lot, when you're taking on the side of Bournemouth, because they run a lot and they put a lot of effort into this game of football. And that's what they do on every match day they obviously face off their opponents. So let's get into the probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. And in the midweek, you saw 1-4-3. Zexi was on target. Amadi Diallo was on target. Evans was on target. And let's see how the manager is obviously going to come up and function into this encounter. In a system of 3-4-2-1, right? That is the system that the manager is really going to be deploying at Old Trafford. And us playing at home, we need to obviously get away. The last time we played in the Premier League at home, Nottingham beat us by 3-1. You remember that very, very well. So, in goal, Onana will return in goal. That is it. And I think Atil Bendeir found himself in a position of really not getting a chance to play in any other game of Manchester United this season because he couldn't obviously help himself take us to where we deserve to be as a side of Manchester United in the semi-finals, meaning that this guy known as Andre Onana is obviously going to return. 3-man central defense, obviously. Matthias de Ligt was ill, and I think he's going to be back for this encounter because he just got an illness, and he's going to be played on the right side of the 3-man central defense. Then on the left of the 3-man central defense, there will come Lisandro Martinez. You know, so much in question, and I was like, every person can have a bad day in office. I've gone ahead to see Saliba today, you know, giving out a ball twice, though those balls never had to cross the line, you know, meaning that every person can have a bad day in office. But I tell you, Lisandro Martinez and Matthias de Ligt are by far the best defenders at the club of Manchester United. Now, at the center of the 3-man central defense, I think this man was benched and is going to be given some minutes when you're playing against Bournemouth. That is Harry Maguire, because he was not used into that game of football that we played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, meaning that's going to be coming in through. But the coming in of Leny Yoro to play will depend onto the situation that Matthias de Ligt is going to be in. If Matthias de Ligt is going to be okay, I tell you what, he's really going to start. If Matthias de Ligt won't be okay or 100% fit to start, then Leny Yoro will obviously come and start, because we also to it that Leny Yoro went ahead and obviously came on and really played some good 90 minutes into that game of football. His recovery pace is really insane, good on the ball, and he's a player in a making. You know, he's a very talented dude that we just have to obviously see him get more minutes, because the more you get more minutes, the more better you become. Now, that is it. So, after that, let's obviously go to the right wing back. I think Mazarawi maintains his position, according to me. He stays in that position for me. Then left wing back, I think Dalo will obviously have a say into that position. That is it. And the double pivot for me, I think it's going to be Manuel Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo for me is a constant in the double pivot. He's obviously going to come in and start because he came off the bench. And I don't know why the manager doesn't obviously start him, because even when you're playing at City, he never started him. And even when playing against Spurs, he never started him. He came on when Mason Mount couldn't obviously push any further. So I don't know why the manager doesn't start Kobbie Mainoo yet. In the game of City, he came on and looked good. You get? In the game of City, he came on and looked good, right? And even in the game of Tottenham Hotspur, he was really one of those players that really looked good into that midfield. So that's all about what the manager really is planning to do. But what I think the manager is really obviously going to be doing for the club of Manchester United. Talking of the two number 10s, Amadi Diallo was rested and came on and played and really grabbed himself a goal. 2 games, 2 goals. I think Ahmad is going to be playing into that that number 10 position, because in this system we play with 2 number 10s, and he'll be playing on the right central attacking midfield. That is it. Then Bruno Fernandes will be played on the left central attacking midfield, scoring a goal against City, banging himself an assist in that anchor as United went ahead obviously play against Tottenham Hotspur. So that is Bruno Fernandes for you. And who is going to be leading the line? None other than Rasmus Højlund. So that's how I believe United is going to be standing as we take on Bournemouth. And for Bournemouth, we anticipate the following players to come and represent them at Old Trafford. You know, Skepa, Azebalaga, Smith, Zabani, Hussein, KKZ, one of those left backs that we're really looking at as a club of Manchester United to obviously come up and sign. Then Cook, Christie, and Semenyo. Then the front three will be Kluivert, Ouattara, and Unal, meaning that Evanilson is really one of those that hasn't gone ahead to score, but he might obviously be put on the bench. That is it. So let's get into what we call the head-to-head stats, and then we obviously give you the prediction of this encounter, right? All right. Let's obviously bring it into your eyes. 1. Manchester United have failed to win either of their Premier League meetings with Bournemouth last season, losing 3-0 at Old Trafford in December. You understand? So, we haven't beaten them since December. Bournemouth have lost 5 of their last 7 Premier League away games against Manchester United, 1 win, 1 draw. Though did win this exact fixture last season by 3-0. Solanke was really one of those that really scored into that encounter before he crossed to Spurs. Then thirdly, if Man United fail to win this game, it will be the first time they've been in the bottom half of the table at Christmas since 1989 to 1990. You understand? So that is really one of the moments that you'll obviously have to look at and obviously understand that we are really having a very poor season. But this win, escalates us into the level of really having 25 points and obviously getting into the top half of the table. Bournemouth have won their last 2 Premier League away games. They last won more consecutively on the road in December 2023, a run of 4 in which the third game came against Man United. So, the third game came against Man United and they won it. So are they going to come up and obviously do the same? I think we're going to put up a fight, but we need to be very, 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 very keen, at what this team is obviously bringing it to us, because it's not an easy nut to crack. That is it. Lastly, Man United have conceded a higher share of their goals from corners than any side in the Premier League this season, 42%. 8 out of 19 goals conceded have come through set pieces. Indeed, out of 19 corners, 8 have gone ahead to cross the line. Indeed, 4 of their 7 goals conceded under Ruben Amorim so far have come from set pieces. So we need to obviously work out onto that as a club of Manchester United. So that's what we really have for you in there for you, and I call in for your predictions into the comment section below. But I go 3-1 win for the club of Manchester United. It's not going to be an easy game, but I believe a 3-1 win is obviously possible. United can obviously bring it on. Bye-bye. See you later.